Can anybody hear me out there? All right, so I'm gonna begin very shortly. I'm adjusting the camera, making sure everything is okay. All right, so what I have here is the Aragon DF47. Okay, D stands for def, F stands for fighter, just in case you've never seen this collection before. We also have the DF45. So anyway, this is the brand new DF47, and you've seen it before probably a year or 2 years ago with a different dial. Okay, so now this is the first collection, what we're calling this dial, we call it the crater dial. When I put it closer, you understand what I'm talking about. So we're beginning with 4 dial colors first, of course. So we have the yellow, the orange, the teal, and the red. And I have the red outside of the case, so maybe I can show it better. So this model comes with the silicone strap, just the way it is. We debuted today at 12 o'clock. The intro price is $115 plus tax and shipping, depending where you are. So, and what is so special about this? So when we debuted this a couple years ago, we had a great success. I always love the design of this case. The reason why I like it so much is, let me bring it up closer for everybody to see. Because I like how it looks like a fighter jet. Maybe I have different imagination. Let me get a screwdriver. Okay, hold on. So I can point out the reason why I like to call this watch this way, because the 9 o'clock position and the 3 o'clock position, as you can see how it extended out, it looks like the wing of an airplane. And then all this angular shape look very much like the stealth, right? From the design perspective, this could have come out straight without having these edges around here and make it more angular, okay? So north and south, the same thing. And let me turn this around so you can see it. You see how it's designed and structured? So this is basically the silhouette of the case design. But when you look around, let me try to clear my fingerprint. Especially particularly this corner, this is my favorite part of the watch, is how it's being angled in every way. Even the lug area, pointing out right here, has a hidden lug, right? You can see this. You don't see it when you're wearing the watch, right? Usually, a lot of the watch case design that I do is an extended a lug right here, and it opens up so you can see the connection of the silicone strap. But this one particularly I like about is this design. Now, if I can bring it up closer and closer without getting blurry, if you look at the bezel, right, it's about 45 millimeter in width. Okay, corner edge bezel, and all the numerals are raised above the surface. And if you see the surface of the bezel, it's also look like a crater as well. And then we fill it up with ink. The numbers are all in shiny finish. Just like the profile of the case is also in this shiny finish. But the surface of the case is done vertical brush. You see how when it's angled this way, the vertical brush goes this way. But when you see the flat surface area, it goes north and south, which is very, very cool, I think. The strap is 24 millimeter. So if you go to the back, okay, so you can see the blue rotor, the Aragon blue rotor. And by the way, this watch is 300 meters water resistance, okay, for $115. I don't think this is that bad. And when we say 300 meters or 990 feet, this is truly a professional dive grade. I emphasize this again and again. In the past, I've seen a lot of watches, they put 50 meters or 100 meters, and they recommend you not to go swimming or shower. But it's splash resistant instead. So when we build a watch, go ahead. go shower, go swim, go scuba dive with it. So this is what I have always so confident with our quality. Now, and also besides the hidden lug, the crown is also recessed, okay, a couple millimeters into the case. I don't know if you can see it right here. You can see it. Now, let me unscrew this. The knurling crown is approximately 8 millimeter in diameter. Okay, you see how it is? It pops out. When it's being pushed, it goes back in. All right, so let me lock it back in. Let's go back and talk about this dial. Why is it so special? This is the beginning of the Aragon crater dial. So if you've seen my YouTube video, I talk about how this was created. So the crater was begin from stamping in a random pattern. At first, the prototype came out and it didn't look like this. It's not as appealing. How about that? And then I made a suggestion and said, let's try to pour, enamel and let it levelize the enamel coating. And the result came out unbelievable, mesmerizing. Yeah, this is the closest I can get with the iPhone 14. By the way, I just went out and bought an iPhone 14 last week because I have a feeling I really enjoy doing this live video where I can interact with all of you. If you have any questions, if I can read your comments at the same time, I try to answer all your questions. You can see after the dial is being created, and I think the outcome, the easiest to see are the lighter colors. For example, the teal, the orange, and the yellow. And I'm going to show it to you one by one. One at a time so you can see what they look like. And I totally understand. You're buying or you're making a decision based on a photo or a video, right? So I want to do this more often. And I'm going to put on my wrist so you can see what it looks like. So this is the silicone strap is the standard, okay? The intro price is $115, and you can go to our webpage right now and place an order. It's under new arrival, okay? It's an automatic, K1 Crystal automatic with the Seiko NX35. For an automatic watch, $115. Not sure where you can get it. I'm sure there's a lot of places, but not necessarily is the Aragon quality. So this is the red. Red has been very, very popular. See, you can see it. See, it's very difficult to show it to you because it's a video, and when I get too close, it gets blurry. Look. So I hope you can see it with your phone. In person, it's really beautiful, especially under the sunlight, because sunlight is the most natural. Okay. So this is the red. I'm going to put on the yellow. I know this is going to be a hard decision for many of you. I've already seen some people buying multiple colors, 4 or 3 pieces. Okay, let me see if I can show you the yellow without the reflection, without the blurriness. Okay. Yeah, I was the upgrade will be the mesh bracelet. It's always more generous with the price when you add on, okay? When it's buying individually, they tend to be a little bit more expensive. And it's a 24 millimeter bracelet. Look at how it looks like with a 5-piece end link. It's definitely look a lot more appealing with the metal bracelet. But for some guys, they are used to wearing strap or silicone strap or rubber strap. Go for this. But if you want to get an upgrade, do the 5-piece multi-link or the mesh bracelet. What was I going to say? Yes, Juan Hernandez asked me the north to south, lug to lug. So I did measure with my caliber. It was exactly 51.65. So I was very, very close to it. I was guessing around 51. Because I tend to like to have a shorter lug because it wears more beautifully on the wrist. It hugs the wrist without, extending over your wrist. I don't know how many of you, have various sizes of watches. I'm certainly not discriminated about sizes. When a watch looks good on me, who cares if it's 55 or 38 or 45. I think as long as it looks good on your wrist, buy what you like, right? So I think we've had this watch size conversation for years and years. And especially me, I have a 6.5-inch wrist. I like it. I like a big oversize, and I like a medium size 45, and I also like a 42. And I remember my first watch 40 some years ago. I think it was like a 35 or 38. And I look back, I put it on my wrist. Today, of course, I was like 7, 8 years old. And now I look back, it's a little bit small. And I really enjoy, having the variety of different sizes. So anyway, let's go back and focus on the watch one more time. So for the teal, I have a feeling people are going to go for the teal, the orange, and the yellow. All right. And teal has been selling. Our first teal watch, like this Robin 8, I should call it. I think it began with the Dive Master 42. Everybody loved it. So we're continuing to have more and more of the teal dials with different designs and collections. And this is the first time we ever use this color with the crater dial. So for these three colors right here, you have the contrast of the black index with the black hands, okay? And the red is the only one that we're doing with silver index and silver hands, okay? And as I said before, the red is getting more and more, has been very popular recently. A lot of people make a request. So let me push the crown back. Oops. Let me push it back in. All right. And the reason why I want to show it to you is I want to point out something. If I can show it to you from this. All right. So you can see, if you can see the index, they are all raised from the dial, which is an individual piece. And then also the calendar has a metal frame around it. Can you imagine, try to imagine this. And let's just say I have this blank dial on the table. Okay. On the table. The index, 12 of them individually on the table. The watchmaker table and the calendar frame on the table. And you try to put it in one at a time. Can you imagine how much time it takes and how delicate of the work is being done? And I can't do it anymore. I probably a few years back I could do it. And I noticed something, a big change with me recently is my eyesight is not as good as before. I used to be really, really good, and my hands are steady. Now maybe I just drink way too much black coffee. I don't know how many people drink black coffee out there like I do. I just love my black coffee too much, and I wake up in the morning, after the coffee, my hands couldn't stop shaking. So anyway, that's a personal thing. All right, so I put it back. Anyone has a question before I go? I hope you like what I'm doing right now. Daily, every time when I do it, I learn something and I make more improvement. So anyway. All right, so I like to say hello to everyone, and thank you for watching this Facebook Live unannounced. And I like to see your comments, and I'll go back and read them, and I'll try to answer all of your questions. So everybody, hey Chad, how are you? Thanks for saying hi. So everybody, thank you very much. And you don't have to. If you think of any questions after, you can just post, and I will go back and read them and try to answer as much as I can. All right, so I will see all of you next time. Thank you.